The once powerful Roman Empire and the current day strongest country, the United States. Both have striking similarities but contrasting differences. In this video, I will answer the question, is the United States just modern day Rome? Now, before we really start to dive in here, I'm going to have my best friend Bentley explain the political parties and how the government was back then and give a little insight so then I can compare with modern day USA.
There was two main parties, which were called the Populists and then the Optimates. The Populists were a political faction in the late Roman Republic advocating for the interest for the common people, plebeians, and seeking to enact reforms to benefit them. The Optimates were a political faction in the late Roman Republic that represented the interests of the aristocrats, elite, and the traditional senatorial class. They sought to maintain the power and influence of the Senate and preserve existing social and political hierarchies, unlike the Populares, who pushed for reforms benefiting the common people. The Optimates generally opposed measures that would undermine the authority of the Senate or disrupt the established power.
Now that we know the two political parties in ancient Rome, we of course in the US have two political parties, Democrats and Republicans. Now I'm going to keep this very kind of brief and like an maybe outdated description, but typically Republicans are more for religion and more for a less powerful government, more Christianized, more wanting guns and wanting free choice. Democrats are more so science related stuff, and the government has more control, and normally they don't really follow, they have like strict gun policies. And I'm keeping it very brief here because not all Democrats and Republicans are like this, and I don't want to offend anybody, and this might be an outdated description anyway. They're both different but similar in a way. Like, both ancient Rome and the US both have these two political parties with different ideals, and they kind of go back and forth at each other like a fight, like a kindergarten fight at times. And it's kind of like how it was back in ancient Rome, because that really led to Rome's downfall was the political instability, which is also a very good argument of today, because people are saying that the US is going down the same path with all this political chaos, political disunity, and political separation. It's really tearing our country apart, but you can't really do anything about it.
We're going to talk about the voting system. So it's kind of like the United States, where we do get people to, but only more so upper class members of the Roman Empire, upper class citizens of the Roman Empire could vote, while slaves and other like people that weren't upper class could not. So unfortunately for those people, what they could do was not very much, and everything else about it didn't help a lot.
So the voting system for ancient Rome and the United States are very similar, yet like Bentley said, only higher class people can vote, while in the United States, anybody that's a native born citizen or has citizenship of the US and is above the age of 18 is allowed to vote in the United States legally by law. So those are some kind of contrast differences between ancient Rome and the United States with voting. Now to answer the question, is the United States just modern day Rome? I'd say kind of. In some ways or another it is, in some ways it's totally different. So I guess it's whatever your viewpoint is, but I'd say it's sort of a modern day Rome. But, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for Bentley for collabing with me in this video. If you guys like to see me and him collab even more, or you guys want to see more content, let me know what it is down below. I will have Bentley's podcast channel linked in the description. That happens to be all for you, Chatterboxers. I'll see you in the next one.